What's up, boys? So, I know a lot of you are interested in what I do and how do I find these entries and the trades that I send to the group. And it does seem crazy to a lot of you. Like, how does he join this move after such a big pump and it keeps pumping? I've been there. I've been there. Nonetheless, let me give you a quick rundown of what happened here. So, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit on the daily, right? And if we look at the daily, well, I had this target in place, and what did we have? We had a break below this area at first. Had a uh, what do you call this? An inverted head and shoulders over here, pushed higher, created a new higher high, and price went all the way down. And if you notice here, I'm gonna clean up the chart for a minute just to explain these things to you. Let me turn off these EMAs. Okay, so we had the first break over here. You can see it wasn't very clear, right? It's not the cleanest one, but we technically did close above this. Price came all the way back down, taking out this liquidity with a bearish engulfing after retesting the 100 MA. Price closed below this level, creating a BOS, tricking retail traders into shorting this, thinking that, the start of a bear move, and thinking that it's a downtrend, right? They probably had some line over here. They probably have this. They see a break, a retest, retail starts engaging in shorts. And obviously they were wrong, as always. Seeing that, I can take out my fib, and that's the average retail trader's fib. It's gonna be from here to here, and they'll see like we closed also below 78.6. They'll start shorting from here. So as the price starts pushing higher, retail traders are also gonna be joining shorts over here because of this whole leg, right? Again, this is their retracement. They'll try to catch the short here, here, here. They keep shorting and price keeps eating their positions, right? If I take out my fib properly and I start it from the beginning of the move, I can clearly see that this is the beginning of the move. We're at 38.2. We touched it. Price started climbing higher, right? So let me bring back my fibs a little bit. And as you can see over here, let me zoom in a little bit. We're going to go down the 4 hour. As you can see, we had a perfect touch at 38.2. Price pushed higher, creating a breakout over here. You can see it. And then we had this big full candle, right? Candle was big and full. 2%, 2.3K, kept pushing up. After that, a lot of people are going to try to short because of, as we said, this whole downtrend thing, thinking that, this the price is going to find some area over here and continue with the trend. But if we look over here, we had this, let's say this was the downtrend. We broke from the downtrend with a full body candle. This is a full break on the H4. We broke it with full volume. Also, when I look at the MAs over here, we had the MAs crossing first time. I remember price was trading here. A lot of traders were trying to long. Price kept pushing lower. So the majority of the longs got liquidated, right? Then when price came back here, you can see this wick. If I zoom in, you can see this wick over here. That was a trap, thinking that we broke the MAs. We're going to come back to retest and start pushing lower. That was also a trap. Again, we had the H4 close above the MAs, retest at the MAs, and it held, right? So if I take out my fibs over here, we're probably going to find that this wick, as you can see, that's the 50%. that would be the best entry, to be honest, for this trade. I missed this entry, but we still have room to go higher. That's why I joined the second or the third wave, rather, saying that was the first one, second, and that was this is the third wave that we're riding right now. As the price pushed, a lot of people are gonna look for a retest on the trend line, which means that, well, they won't get it because this candle break was full. This is not, you know, this is not, they didn't do this and then come back. There's no wicks. It's full volume, clean buys. It's obvious. And especially after all of this scenario over here with the MAs, right? Now, the reason why I took the entries because we've bounced off the minus 27.2 extension, which a lot of people are probably gonna have over here, and they're not gonna master it, right? Even if I put it like this, it's still looking fine, but a lot of people, it's very tricky. I will keep it like that for now, as it's not gonna, yeah, it's not a problem. So after the retest on the 27.2 with all of this, everything that I've explained, it makes sense that the big boys don't have any intention of bringing the price lower towards the trend line for a retest, and they're going straight up because all the retail traders are not positioned. So they are sidelined over here, right? Let's bring it down. Retail, sidelined. We got MA, uh, let's say story, right? The story here around the MAs, how we went down, came up, we retested, perfect break hook go, a break and retest, if you want to call it. We got the trend line breaking, the H4 candle breaking through the trend line, right? On top of that, we mentioned how retail traders thought this was the downtrend, the close over here, how we closed below the 78.6. You can see the wick. It's very tricky, right? Retail, shorts, trapped. And what else do we have? We have a retest on the minus 27.2. So probably 4 or 5 solid confirmations on the higher time frames. And yeah, as I said, also on the way the retail traders position their fibs, you can see it's very hard to tell because price closed below the fib area over here, tricking them into shorts again, right? My fib was over here because of the way I put my fib. So I realized that is the actual bottom. That is the actual retest of the fib. We had the push, and then price came back to the 78.6. I had a bit of an early entry because I didn't want to miss out on the move, but I was fine with some drawdown. I was very confident with this position. And then we had the actual breakout continuation. And now we're just at different levels of take profits, right? You can see we're reacting off the minus 227.2. We're just at different stages, different obstacles of this trade. We have this one. We have some obstacles here, you can see. So this whole zone is probably a one big obstacle. I'll just call it like that. Of course, if you want the specifics, you can zoom in. And the target, I'm targeting a As for the target, I'm targeting this big 100% extension, but of course we can look to extend the move, right? Well, first I want to see how price reacts of this level, 118,500. And then of course, if I decided to cut some profits here, keep the rest running, etc., you have multiple options to do. But that in general, that is the whole idea behind this trade. And the reason I added an extra position is because As I said, I wanted to get in early. I knew the big boys over here were accumulating positions before such a big move. They're probably going to be interested in adding more positions at these lower prices, so I did the same. I put myself in the shoes of an institutional trader and I did the same thing. They were adding buys at these prices, so I did add a buy as well. As for the stop loss, as I said, this was the retest of the minus 27.2, and I wasn't interested in seeing another pullback to that level because then we could probably just see that this was a liquidation and price wants to go lower, right? That's pretty much it, and I hope you learned something new today. Peace out.